Hi, I'm Mike Richie. Welcome to my September Videocast. I just want to start off by saying here at the Northern Pines School District, we're off to a great start. The 2013-14 school year was a very smooth transition from summer into school, and the kids are excited, the staff is excited, and we've got many great things that we're looking forward to this year. I want to talk a little bit about, as a district, we have 3 goals for the school year, and it's really important that we develop these goals and we look at some areas where we want to move forward. Our goal number 1 is to ensure that we have effective teachers in every classroom. Obviously, it goes without saying that a good quality teacher will have a positive impact on student learning. Along with that, we want to focus on best practices, and we also have a lot of different school reforms out there, such as Common Core standards, educator effectiveness. We want to look at some common assessments, and also we want to take a good, strong look at standard-based report cards. And so with goal number 1, we want to make sure it's tied to academic achievement. Goal number 2 for the district is infusing technology to enhance learning. It goes without saying, to be a 21st century learner, we must infuse technology into daily learning. Here in Northern Pines, we have done a tremendous job using technology. We have a 3-year plan to go basically one-to-one with a device per student. In year 1, we're happy to say we very successfully launched our campaign at Northern Pines High School, where all of our high school students did receive a Chromebook this year, and they'll be using a Chromebook for all of their classes. Technology is a big piece of how we educate our students today, and we want to make sure that we try to keep up with all the advances that are out there with technology. Goal number 3 for the district is promoting connectedness to strengthen relationships. We feel that developing relationships with students is extremely important, and as we look at not just our teachers, we look at our support staff, we look at all of our employees, it is critical that every single employee that works for the school district develops a very positive relationship with all of our students. Collaboration is key. We have to work together. We have to try to help each other. We have to work off each other's strengths. PBIS is a big initiative. PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Intervention and Supports. We want kids to behave. We want them to be positive. We want all of our employees to make sure that students are behaving, and we want to hopefully try to encourage them to be very positive. So lots of activity is going around in all of our buildings that involve PBIS. Also, social networking through our district website is important. I know there's a lot about social media out there, good and bad. We have some controlled sites that really we want to encourage our students to be able to use and take advantage of some of the technology that we have and some of the technology that's out there. So we need to make sure that we do promote the social networking that is available within our school district. So those are our 3 goals. It's going to be a great school year, and as we get into the months ahead, I'll also talk to you about other initiatives that we have going on in the Northern Pines School District. Well, you've probably noticed I'm not in my office today, and we're actually sitting in the middle school library. It's a beautiful library where lots of resources are available for not only our middle school students, but our Eagle River Elementary students as well. Sitting with me is Jackie Coghlan. Jackie is the middle school principal who has been with Northern Pines School District. Jackie, how many years?
This is my 16th year in Eagle River.
16 years with us, and does a great job as a principal. In fact, she's done such a good job. In 2013, Mrs. Coghlan was named the Wisconsin Middle School Principal of the Year. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate all your efforts here, and I know the students and staff do as well. I guess let's get right into the award. Were you a little surprised, or how did you feel about receiving such an honor?
Well, it was a surprise. There's a process you go through. I didn't think that the announcement was being made till a month after it actually was, so the surprise was quite evident, and a very welcome surprise, and kind of a humbling surprise.
I know all along you've praised your staff and what a great group of people you work with. So I know they're very excited. I know they had a lot to do with the nomination and doing a lot of the paperwork. So I want to commend you and your staff for doing just a great job. As a middle school educator and a leader, you've been in the business for a long time. What about all the changes in education today? Go back to your first couple of years as principal, and then compare that to today. What do you see as the big difference, the biggest difference?
Well, that's a while back, because this is 37 years in education, so things were a little different. The demands on students, teachers, paraprofessionals, and principals is greater than it was. Not that we didn't do a lot when I was in the classroom, but I think things have changed, because I think we have realized that we need to be more competitive, we need to have different skill sets, and obviously technology is one of those keys that you were lucky, and I'll go back to, the old mimeograph machine where you ended up being purple in color. You no longer have to copy things because they can go directly to the person you want them to go to. Students using whatever form of technology and device that they want, whether it's an iPad, a Chromebook, a phone, that really education doesn't have boundaries anymore, and it used to be that pretty much things happened within the building.
I mentioned earlier in the videocast that this year we went one-to-one for high school students with our Chromebooks, and the plan is for year 2 for the 2014-15 school year is to go one-to-one with middle school students. So I can just imagine that with all the excitement about technology and how the students and staff will feel if each student actually has their own device in the classroom every day. Will that impact learning?
Well, it certainly will, because right now we would like to do more things with technology, and that's the way some of the curriculum is going, that the kids just need to know how to do it. Our tests will be done via technology, and it's kind of a battle to see if you can have a lab that you can actually get a device for, for your child to use in the classroom. Some classes, Mr. Lusing's social studies class actually has had one-to-ones within the classroom. The students didn't take those, and I think the kids actually produce things differently, and they know that it's not just what happens within those walls. And I think a lot of teachers would like that opportunity, so I think they're looking forward to it. And it will be a learning process to watch what happens at the high school, so that we can learn from them and tweak the whole system if we need to before we dive into it. So you always like to be first to do something, but I think in this case it's maybe good to be the second one, because we can learn from whatever happened at the high school.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And I know that PBIS is a big initiative within our district and at the middle school. Can you just share with us some of the things that you're doing that would involve PBIS?
We started, and I'll go back a couple years, with the response to intervention, which is the academic part of the program that we are doing. PBIS is the behavior part, which is Positive Behavior Intervention System. And we had a team last year work very hard to plan what we were going to do for this year. They visited other schools and came up with what they felt was the best from all of those other pieces. And we put our plan together this summer. We met several times this summer. And our kickoff was that the students saw videos of what was appropriate behavior, the expected behavior. We have what are called Eagle Claws that the students can get for just random things that they might do that are the acceptable and expected behavior. And there are bigger things and incentives along the way. Our students are wearing lanyards, and they have what we call spirit sticks that are bigger kind of incentives, and we will do drawings. But it's changed a little bit the atmosphere in the building. Even though we had rules and things before, we put them in as expectations, and every classroom has what is referred to as a matrix, where there are expectations in that classroom, very simple. And I think the kids see it a little bit differently because they're proud to do the right thing.
Well, I know the start of the school year is always really busy, and this year you have a kind of a good problem, because I know it's the start of the school year. We're in September, and the kids are excited, staff's excited. You got the year rolling. Now, just in a short time here in September, you're going to go out to Washington, D.C. as part of the award you received. You get to go out to our capital, our nation's capital, and meet with a lot of people. Can you just share with us what's going to happen when you're out in Washington, D.C.?
Okay, it's been kind of a whirlwind experience. On September 18th, I leave for Washington, D.C. Actually, it's Arlington, Virginia. And the principals of the year from all of the states for middle school principal of the year and the secondary principal of the year will be out there. We have days that are scheduled. One of those days is going to Capitol Hill, where we will meet with our senators and our representatives, talk about issues that they are working on. They have been off, so now they'll be back in session. And things range anywhere from discussions on the ESA, and which is the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, talking about principal training and recruitment, which is one of the big things that they are concerned about because of the demands on principals. So it will be a good chance to get a perspective from our representatives and senators to see what their thought is, not just for the state, but also for the country, because this is happening everywhere. There are topics dealing with literacy and transforming education into technology. So that's, again, I think we will be kind of a step ahead of some other places with our technology, which will be kind of a good thing as Wisconsin, again, as a leader. So Capitol Hill is one of those days. There's also meetings with some of the representatives from the Education Department that we will meet with on Friday. And then there's kind of a gala ball where the actual national principals of the year will be announced at that time.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I know it'll be an exciting trip, and it's a great time for you to network with your colleagues from across our great nation. Our state association, and I believe that's in Wisconsin Dells in February.
Correct. It will be, the winners from the state will be recognized at what is the OSAW conference with middle school and high school principals, and chance to be recognized in front of your peers, network with others who have received this award, also talk about local topics, and just have a chance to share some of the things that actually went on in Washington, D.C. I do remember last year the two winners who went out to Washington, D.C., how they talked about what they had done when they were out there. And so I'm looking forward to that experience, and then being able to share with my colleagues, other principals in the state, what we can do actually to make education better.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Coghlan. I'm here again with Jackie Coghlan, the 2013 Middle School Principal of the Year. And for the parents out there, hopefully your children will have a great school year. Two pieces of advice. Please make sure every morning that your children have a very healthy breakfast before they come to school. Research will show students that come to school with a full stomach will do much better in the morning. And also, please make sure they get plenty of rest every night. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. And again, you can always go to our website for a lot of information regarding the Northern Pines School District.